Alright, this one is called Freedom. I look up to the stars and only see the sky falling. I listen and in my mind I hear the wind calling. Freedom. I awake to realize that was just my dreams telling lies. Oh, how I agonize. I slip into despair, for these eyes have not seen stars in how many years? Tears begin to build up, fears begin to fill up my mind. Will I ever have my time? Freedom. Will I ever be able to write these rhymes in freedom? Behind steel doors is where they tell me I belong, along with leg shackles and handcuffs to help me right my wrongs, shock therapy, systematic abuse. Make sure they keep it in my mind that I will never be of use to society or civilization. Since my creation, I've been subjected to a dehumanization. Parents that were racist, teachers that were impatient with my generation, or maybe it was my generalization of life didn't fit. Pain would only subside to nights taking a hit. Rights to humankind never seemed to exist. A love that wasn't kind is where I would submit. A childhood that was blind, or maybe never was lived. Freedom? I don't think I'll ever know freedom. I think with every passing season they would make up a reason to lock me up and toss me into a mental cell. ADHD led to pills that I would eventually sell because they never told me how these pills would make me eventually feel. Trapped in hell, that something was wrong with my brain. Made me feel like I was a wild animal that they needed to tame. Made me feel like I needed to refrain from the way that I thought that I brought all life's problems, that it was all my fault. So my freedom as a child was lost in the course. Forced to choose sides in a horrid divorce. Learned that love was only worth as much as the child support. Freedom. Alright, this one right here is called Remember. This is a cry for the people, the fist in the sky, the pound to the chest, the blood in my eye. This is the Soledad brothers, the Guantanamo Bays. Remember the young lords in the Black Panther days. This is for Che Guevara, my revolutionary father. My brother sincere, think we started as robbers. Asada, the mother. George Jackson, the voice. Jonathan, we loved you and would have made that same choice. We hoist up the ways the revolutionists thought. The third world people is by who we were taught. We fought and we learned so we could one day be free. Nat Turner showed them that they weren't slavery, but that were urban guerrillas, that were kings and were queens. And let Martin remind us that we all have a dream. Huey, Bobby Seale, black leaders of our day, California's revolutionaries in progress, growth and development's way, the GANGs and the GODs, the NOIs, FOIs, and the cry for the free. Dumb is what we were before we opened our eyes. Fidel had it once, but forgot of the prize. Malcolm the leader, Clarence Allah, Farrakhan the preacher, and me living jihad. Tupac the soul, Wu-Tang the movement, Erica the earth, I beg you please never lose it. Bob Marley the lion, Lauryn Hill and her Zion. Remember all the lost tribes from the Incas to Mayans? Forever I'm crying till we back at our essence, and my soul is forever dying till we heed all these lessons. The past, our culture, the future, our stars, the present, this fire stuck behind razor and bars. Mandela showed us his light, Jose Marti fought the great fight, and we all praise ISIS that guides us at night. Right is our path, the warrior's epic, and we will reach these goals as long as we never forget it. For all the fallen, we must never surrender, for we are the vanguards. While I ask you, remember, remember, remember. Alright, so this one I'm going to have to preface a little bit. I'm going to have to explain this one a little bit first. This one I wrote in confinement when I was doing like 120 days under investigation. It's called the DOC Creed, and I tried to write it from the first point of view of some of these pigs and make it realistic. I even have a voice for it, so let me try to find the voice real quick. But this one's called the DOC Creed. I woke up this morning before the sun. It was my first day at work. My life has begun. Tied up my boots, threw on my browns, picked up my badge, remember the frown. Today I follow in my family's path, a job that brings glory much more than cash. You ask me what job that I start today? The Pride DOC of the FLA, where we house the untamed, just like a zoo, like caged animals but men wearing blue. My papa once told me one day I'll be a ruler of modern day slavery. You see, we date back all that history, this light brown secret society. The shiniest of boots and my lip full of dip. Can't wait to feel these cuffs hang from my hip, because today is a day of CO powers. I hope that they let me work up in the tower and let one of them dark boys try to just run. I'll be there ready, cocked with my gun. Make old Paul proud of his first son. Obama can't save no man in the land I come from.
I was born to wear this brown uniform, born to keep men broken and torn. Our weapons are our spray and our cuffs, and let one of them Chicos try to get tough. So me and the fellas can stomp his ass down, show him this country don't need him around. The power I get when I walk through these gates is better than sex. I'm God up in this place. I'm the judge, I'm the jury, and I choose their sentence. Modern day Caesar, how I lynch my peasants. They say once in a while we'll have a true rebel, but I know that 5 of us can stomp him down to a pebble. Our motto is spray for the rise and keep 'em a-blazing, because DOC is truly domination of Caucasians.
This one is called The Interview. Verse of fire, words expire, never. Would you die for the cause or kill for the better? Defy all the laws to keep a nation together? Fight for equal rights so we can one day see forever? Or would you bow to the man when this water gets rough? Forget about the plan when that road gets too tough? When that journey gets rocky and them hills get too high and them goals seem unreachable unless you can fly? If your life could save millions, would you put on the line? What about just one? Is that enough for you to die? No. Well, what if that one would go on to save millions, be the third world voice, a true teacher to our children, expose the oppressor and crack down all his buildings, rip the mask off the system and show the true villain? But no, one life for you was too less, and you say that you would have never have guessed? A revolutionary? Nah, you sound more like a mess. How can you fight the revolution but forget the oppressed? The revolution cause should begin from within, and alone that's the reason you care for your kin. No matter color of skin, cause we all stand on one thing, not to mention our blood is all red when them shots start to ring. So tell me, why is it that you fight in this war? Do you feel its cause deep down in your core? Your mouth tells me yes, but your eyes scream unsure. Fear, like you're playing Rush Roulette with a Colt 44. Scared to fight for the ones that you do not know. You're an actor, a fake. I'm so sick of this show. When you fail on this field, you will be exposed. The door is now open. You can pick up and go. This one is called Militant God, Born King, MGBK. I dedicate this to George Jackson. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Me? I'm trapped. Hostage to the cage. I rage on this page. Flames to the pigs that bottle the sage. Amazed as I bid on these words, these verbs and these nouns that need to be heard. Like a bird with no voice or a man with no choice. Or is it a bird with no choice and a man with no voice? They tried to quiet the prophet, tossed in a cave, mentally raped, whipped like a slave. Indoctrinated with lies, poison they fed. His story was written with blood on they lead. A crown not broken but bruised, a forgotten past and a future confused, a child so lost, a star never seen, vision so blurred and dreams never dreamed. How can it be? A lion with no roar. How can they search for Zion but not want to explore? I'm floored, I want more for my people. How far must we walk till we see that we're equal? Get real, now is the time for us to teach what is right and solely divine. Divide away from these traps that are set. The goals of the past have never been met. These kings, these queens, these pharaohs and gods have been reduced to petty hustlers and niggas that rob. Unleash these chains, my brain screams to be free. Shatter the cycle, the revolutionist creed. Build a strong cipher, 360 degrees. Forever victory, forever victory. But again, can you hear me? I'm trapped. But for I to see freedom, the chain has been snapped.